I got the urge. I actually took a whole lot of choline yesterday, and it ended up just making me dizzy. But for the first time in a long time, when I worked at Wendy's and I was closing, I used to do these skits where I'd make fun of people we worked with, especially if they were really overbearing and really fucking annoying. I would just imitate their behaviors but exaggerate them. Uh, and just point out all their character flaws in a single skit. Like, it's gotten me in trouble before because when I was in like elementary school, there was this kid that was always harassing other dudes, and I did an entire skit about making fun of him, and that guy, uh, possibly for I think for like almost 4 weeks, he literally used to come in and just say, "You're not funny. You're not funny. You're not funny." And it was just every fucking day. Until some girl pointed out that I was right about everything, and then that guy just left me alone. Which was probably for the better, because back in those days they just beat the shit out of you. So, um, yeah, yeah. So I was thinking about the cinema guys, and I just thought this was like really funny because I just picture their kids going, "Hey Dad, how'd you get the idea for cinema therapy?" And be like, "Oh, we stole it from this guy named Bobby. He one day reported our massive human trafficking ring and then took down the entire church and put all of our church leaders who kill women and eat people's brains in prison where they belong. And then we beat, raped, waterboarded him. Dad, was that enough to stop him? No, heavens no, this guy was tough. We held him up at gunpoint, we shot him, we strangled him, we beat him one time, we bashed him in the head, we poisoned him with all types of nonsense. It was absolutely insane, son. And the guy was totally crazy." Okay? And then we kept trying to kill him, and then we eventually poisoned him with heavy metals until he was retarded and got him to sign a perjury, which enabled us to get back to human trafficking and stealing other people's ideas. So how did you get this idea? He mentioned it to me and my friend, and you know what happened? We stole it from him, because that's what you do. You steal other people's ideas and tell them they're bad ideas. It's the only way to become great, because God actually chooses people that are better than you and smarter than you. But if you kill them and take their ideas and poison them with heavy metals till they're retarded and they can't function, it's okay to steal their ideas. Okay, Dad. I would have had nothing, son. My mom was right when she told me I wouldn't make it as a film director. I've never even had a major hit movie. That Bobby guy, he came up with K-pop Demon Slayers. He came up with the Barbie movie. Oh man, he came up with so much good shit. Demon Slayer, that anime went nuts. He came up with that. He came up with so many good ideas. There was a dude in our church he told to make these saws from Zelda, and that guy almost went broke, and then Bobby made him a fortune when he gave him a patent for the Japanese saw. Now that guy's crazy rich, son. That Bobby guy came up with so many good ideas. Mr. Beast, you wouldn't believe this, but Stu, when Bobby was in school, he mentioned that I doesn't know why there's not a YouTuber that just goes around giving money out, and Stu was like, "That's a stupid idea," and then he gave it to Mr. Beast, and then Mr. Beast killed 6 kids and murdered 7 women, and then he counted to 1 million on YouTube, and he became a billionaire. That Bobby guy had hit after hit after hit. He had so many good ideas. It was crazy, son. He kept saying crazy shit like he could fix climate change, but we weren't gonna let that happen. Him saving people, that's against the rules. You know how we work, son. Okay? So what did you do? We stole his idea and promoted our disgusting human trafficking ring. We were like, "Oh, I'm a part of the best human trafficking ring on the planet. We raped so many kids and raped so many women, it was amazing." Alright, Dad, so what happened to the Bobby guy? Well, the president predicted his brother was gonna kill him. Did that happen? Well, kind of. You see, 'cause Bobby made another deal, and this guy gets to kill him and eat his brains. Okay, and that guy's a church leader. Alright, Dad, that sounds amazing. So I just go and talk to this church leader because he ate Bobby's brains and now he has all of Bobby's ideas, right? No. Because all he got from Bobby was a learning comprehension disorder, and he needed so much help from everybody else, so we killed him and ate his brains. Because you're not allowed to ask for help when you're a church leader. And then he realized that it was actually a downgrade to eat Bobby's brains. Then to this day, we still have no idea how Bobby came up with so many good ideas. In fact, he came up with the idea to send Luigi Mangione out to shoot that CEO so that everybody could get free healthcare. But our president of our church knew this was leading to one thing. Poor people using fear and force to force the Ubermensch and wealthy people into actually paying taxes and giving people health care and actually benefiting society and helping people, son. And that is something we just don't do as Christians. We make it worse and tell people suffering's good for them, and we keep them fighting one hand behind their back. And if they're mentally ill, we fuck them up even more because it's good for them. And if they're really messed up, you can steal all their ideas, and if you keep them at a disadvantage and under our contracts, even if they get money, our church gets to keep it. And then we put it into more human trafficking, which we put into getting more women, and then we rape more babies, and then we rape more people, and we mess more people up. It's an infinite cycle of perpetual stupidity and violence, son. Okay, Dad, but how am I supposed to get an idea? I don't know, and I don't give a shit. Go take a crown and color a zebra. There's no Bobbies walking around to give you ideas. I got lucky. So did that loser, my friend, with the therapy stuff. He got lucky too, because Bobby just happened to mention this to us, and he was a therapist and I was a film guy. Holy shit, did we get lucky. We should be thankful to Bobby and not the church, because he came up with this idea. He created us. He gave us so much money, wealth, and fortune. I would have been out on my ass, and so would have my friend. We would have been fucking losers the rest of our life had we not stolen his idea. Okay, Dad, so is there like a guy I can go kill and eat his brains? Or, it's not my problem, son. I don't care. I don't care. I don't stop bothering me. I'm not emotionally stunted, mentally ill, and have mommy and daddy issues. I'm the superior. Oh. You see, I forget sometimes I'm the superior. You're so superior you couldn't come up with your own ideas, Dad? Shut up, you little shit. Like I said, go take a red crown and color a zebra. He's making me think. Critical thinking, it's painful for my lead brain. I used to do these a whole lot when I was closing at Wendy's. I would just do teardowns of like so many people. And just generally the way they interacted with others and the way they treated people. My impersonations, I remember this one dude talked about that. Apparently, I've never witnessed it, but even in my impersonations, I would start doing people's mannerisms. One of the times I was making fun of Officer Fred, and I was like standing like this and twisting my body like that, and everything I did. And it was just this weird, jagged, twisted, and I remember they just started fucking cracking up, and they couldn't stop laughing about it. I'll tell you this, though. For the longest time, when I was in high school, and people, my impressions of other people were very rare, because I was mostly talking like Ed, but if somebody annoyed me enough, I would switch from Ed to just impersonating them, their behaviors, and what they did. And hilariously, I was so good at it that people would develop introspective from just how I was to interacting and treating people. I don't remember this kid's name, but he was a real lecher. He was just all over all the girls. And I had a thing for Cassie Deakins. And I was trying to flirt with Cassie, and this dude just came over, and he was like, "Hey, baby, you got the boobs, you got the face," and just doing that kind of thing. So I was watching him, and I remembered this kid just started laughing because as I was watching him, I have a slinky posture where I kind of like used to lean. I had a really bad back and a kind of fucked up arm in high school. You couldn't really tell, or maybe you could. I don't think it really matters, but I imitated that guy, and it was funny because one of the kids watched me going into the pose and stretching, distorting my body so that I could imitate his posture. And then I was like, "Hey, man, how you doing? You got that nice tight ass and those tight jeans, you know what I'm talking about?" Oh man, I'd be going off all night on that, brother. I'd be like peeing on the third rail, getting all fried and electrocuted on that. I'd be totally worth it, man. I used to do these really hilarious fucking impressions of people. that, like, here's the funny part. They were actually, like I said, they were super rare. You would have to get on my nerves a whole lot for me to do it. And I remember I did it one of the times I was doing it to that, I was making fun of that guy, and he grabbed me and pulled me in, and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, I'm going to kill you, bro. I'm going to kill you. And I kept making fun of him. Dude, that guy was kind of weird, though, because he also followed me around school for the longest time, because he really didn't like me interfering in his sex life. Which I kind of get it now, because these people interfere in my life all the time, so I can totally see where that guy was coming from. But let's be honest, we were two kids in high school competing for the same girl. And this dude wanted her for sex, and I wanted her because I was, first time experiencing puppy dog love, where you just love a woman because it's like puppy dog love, you know. You see it, you love it, it's love at first sight. With Cassie, it was love at first smell. Yeah, it sounds weird. She smelled like barbecued flowers underwater. Yeah. She came into the art room, and I remembered she sat down beside me, and I just got this feeling like I was under attack. Yeah. Love made me feel like I was under attack. I didn't know what was going on, and I was absolutely terrified. To look beside me to see this, she was a butterface and a half, brother. Huge D boobies and a fat ass. She had a crazy hourglass shape to her. She had wiry hair, but she also had like a hair helmet going on when her hair was just curly because she had crazy curly hair and green eyes. I had a thing for green eyes back in the day. I don't think I really do still have it. I mean, I used to be really crazy for green eyes. I used to say I'm a sucker for green eyes. Cassie was, she was a high school crush, you know. Yeah. It's immature to be making fun of other people, but honestly, I think some of the high points in my videos are my impressions. Like, even when I talk about these church members, I wish these church members would just be real, and when I mean real, just that that's the real you guys. The emotionally dysregulated, ego taking over your brain you. That's the real you. And that's how you should act all the time around everybody, so everybody knows to not go to your church because they see how mentally ill you are. You see, when you wear the facade, they don't see the real you, so they don't see how fucked up you are. That's my problem. And that's why I want everybody to just be real in this church and be the real them, not the facade. Trust me, when more people see you walking around as you are meant to be, they will understand why we have to get rid of all churches. Side note, I really should have made a list of ideas I came up with, because Mr. Beast and the K-pop Demon Hunters and Demon Slayer aren't even the peak of the list of ideas. Mythbusters, yes. Mythbusters was another idea that was stolen from me. Like, from Stu, that's not a joke. That Mythbusters was literally stolen from me. In fact, I actually remembered when I was president, I'd actually called Adam Savage, and he was like, I can't believe I'm talking to the actual guy from high school that created Mythbusters. And he's like, and you're president of the church. That is insane. He was like, I thought they were going to kill you, because normally they just take your ideas and then they murder you. And I was like, well, that would be stupid, because then, like, with somebody's whole identities, they just come up with ideas. And I told him, I was like, they're greatness makers, like in my comic, like I talked about. There's the catalyst guy. He's the dude that turns up and creates the change. He's the most important character, and then he just disappears. These people are angels, okay? And he was like, the catalyst guy. Those don't exist. There's no guy that's a catalyst. There's no guy that just turns up and says, like, I'm going to do something. But then I think about it, these guys steal all my ideas. So I guess I'm a catalyst guy. And maybe the truth about my life is I just need to keep all my really good ideas to myself. Forever. I even think about that device I made when I was 16 that's designed to kill large amounts of people. I think that could be a really effective device. And I don't think the U.S. military has anything like it, personally. Because even Aileen Mummy God said they would have to make new laws if you create that thing. And I told him I was okay with it. And I think that's a really good device, personally. And it's an idea I've never given anybody. How about that? And I'm pretty sure there's other things I could probably come up with because just how my brains works. I've always said I'm an ideas guy. Resident Evil Requiem and a bunch of other video games like Borderlands 4 got it all wrong. They got all my ideas wrong. I wanted a more tactical, engaging game in Borderlands, and maybe that would have been bad. I think it could have been good. I also wanted a third-person cam mode for running around, so you could have the option, kind of like Resident Evil Requiem, where you could switch between first and third person. And I had a bunch of other ideas, particularly in Borderlands, where it was kind of like Shigeru Miyamoto got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were both my ideas. And I wanted an open world, and the gluing stuff together thing was an idea I had when I was a kid. I was like in 5th grade. And honestly, I don't know why my brain's doing this, but it's just going over every good idea I ever had. And I gave a bunch of them away when I was president, and that's on me, because I never thought I'd ever get to use them. That's why I gave them to other people, because I knew they were good ideas, or at least I believed they were good ideas. There were some bad ideas. There were some ideas I definitely should have never given anybody, ever. But I was also high on drugs, and I was incapable of knowing if it was a good or bad idea. And when you're up there, the wives are just kind of hype men, and they just tell you every idea you have is a good idea, even when it's a really bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, I did really bad ideas. When I was president. But yeah. These are all billion-dollar ideas, by the way, that I came up with personally, that this church stole from me. And it's kind of funny that at some point they're going to murder my ass and eat my brains. And like I said, I really hope the guy that eats my brains just gets my fucking learning disorder. That's it. And he's like, oh, I need help. And they're like, you're not allowed to have help. And he's like, I need help. And they're like, you're not allowed to have help. Oh no. Oh, where'd the ideas go? Like, just fucking no ideas ever again for him or the world. Yeah. And particularly my church. And here's the thing, they had me under hypnosis when I started talking about my church to Blondie, so I don't know how much of my church I gave him, but I also know my subconscious is funny as shit, because it plays pranks on people. Yeah. It'll, randomly give people my idea and then sabotage it. Kind of like Leonardo da Vinci used to sabotage some of his instructions in his shop so that other people couldn't steal his more dangerous ideas. My brain did that. It would literally just tell people, like, these are all good ideas, and then fucking sabotage them. And I have no idea why it did that. Outside of the fact that, like, my subconscious sabotages me, so maybe my subconscious sabotages other people when they're speaking to me. And maybe that's all a setup. Maybe that's just how that works. That's my internal connection with myself. The self-sabotaging. So these people are like, we stole his idea through hypnosis? And then my brain's like, fool. If only you had spoke to Bobby and were willing to pay royalties and actually, be thankful and have gratitude, and maybe actually pay it forward and show that you're not a complete piece of shit. Oh, you would get the full idea. You could have been a billionaire, and now you're just gonna be a loser. Just picture my subconscious. Because that's how I would be if they're dealing with me. I'd be like, but whatever. I think it's the Josh laugh. Ho 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 ho. Blondie. I could totally picture Blondie stealing my church idea, opening it up, and it just straight into the ground. And my subconscious already knowing why he set him up for failure and how he set him up for failure. Even the Saul guy. Yeah, the Saul guy. I initially set him up for failure because I didn't like him. I mean, he changed later once the Saul idea went bad and he lost everything. He became a better person, and then I told him how to make money off of the Saul idea. So, there's that. And I don't mean the movie Saul, I mean like actual Japanese Sauls that are American made. That guy. I mean, he never paid it forward, gave me any money, so he's gonna die of cancer soon, but that's what happens when you don't be a good person. You just be a piece of shit. It goes bad for you. At least, let's hope so.